Just ahead on American Black Journal, I'm going to talk with Wayne County Commissioner Martha Scott about her history-making achievements in public service, plus details on the largest used book sale in the Detroit area, and we'll meet two young boxers in search of the American dream. Stay right there. American Black Journal starts now.
At DTE Energy, we believe that we have a greater responsibility. We believe that being part of a community means being involved in the fabric of that community, investing time, effort, and resources in the communities we serve. DTE Energy Foundation is a proud sponsor of American Black Journal.
Welcome to American Black Journal. I'm Stephen Henderson. My first guest broke racial and gender barriers in public service when she became the first female mayor of Highland Park. The victory also made her the first African-American woman elected mayor of any Michigan city. Not only is Martha Scott a Black history maker, but she also has a long history serving the people of this state. Currently, she's in her third term as a Wayne County Commissioner. I'm pleased to welcome Martha Scott to American Black Journal.
Thank you.
Yeah. So let's talk first about you being the first female mayor of Highland Park, and then, of course, the first African-American female mayor of any city in Michigan. How did you get to that point? At what point did you say, you know, politics, that's what I really want to do?
No, that was never just what I wanted to do. It just happened, you know. Even as I started off as a precinct delegate, it just happened, and then I was just encouraged to do this, do that, and then when as I first started as a county commissioner, I got an appointment. I had ran and came in second place. 11 months later, the gentleman that was there, he left and went to the Public Works Department that the county had just administered. And I was working at Michigan Bell and took a half-a-day vacation, went down to the county for their afternoon meeting. There was 13 white males and me.
Wow.
And I got that appointment that day.
The appointment.
So I knew that it came from on high, a higher power than me.
Somebody was involved, right?
Yes.
Right. So talk about what it was like then in Highland Park. Remind me of the year, but I mean, I know
it was 1988.
It's not the same. This is not the same Highland Park that we're talking about today. It was a very different place.
Well, it is. It's been a very different place than when I first came to Highland Park, you know. We was just the greatest city that you'd ever want to live in. So it was just an honor that the people selected me as mayor. And it was challenging, but I was able to get some things done because I surrounded myself with some people to work with me. And one of the greatest things that happened is I had the opportunity to meet Secretary Kemp.
Jack Kemp, who was,
at a community meeting.
At that point.
And at a church, one of my staff people knew that I was trying to meet with him because I read in the newspaper that he was coming to town. And I tried to get my Congress people to help me. But then they said, well, we won't be able to, he won't have time to stop by. But then when she told her pastor that I wanted to meet him, well, they were having a community meeting, so they invited me to come. So I got there early, positioned myself so that I would be eyeball to eyeball with Jack Kemp, and told him a story of Highland Park, some of our needs and some of our wants. And then said to him, and you know, it's the home of your friend, Reggie McKenzie. Well, I had his attention then.
now he's paying attention.
There was $20 million left in the country for small cities, and we got 4.85 million.
Is that right? Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
And we started the shopping center at Manchester there.
Okay. Oh, is that right?
Oh, yeah. There were no things that was on except. I think we were doing some trees on Woodward at that time. But there were no other
there was nothing
economic development things going
you
on.
Shop there.
Yes.
I remember that.
But we still weren't able to get the dollars until I was leaving.
Oh, is that right?
But But that's why it's important that you continue what the previous person did.
Is doing,
yes.
right?
Yes.
You sort of inherit some of
Right.
that legacy. As you point out, you were on the commission before, the Wayne County Commission, before we had an executive
Right.
in
Yes.
Wayne County, and now you're back under a really different structure, and that feels really different too, right?
Well, it is different. We had a chairman, and Attorney Sam Turner was the chair, and he asked me to chair Human Resources. And I said, well, Sam, I just got here. He says, well, I wouldn't ask you if I didn't think that you
could do it, right?
able to do it. And so we were the third largest county in the nation back then.
Yeah.
And Human Resources, we had 60% of the county's budget was in my committee.
Yeah. Wow.
And we did a lot of things. There were a lot of things going on then. We had hospitals, There
was a lot of direct services that
Yes.
the county provided to
Exactly.
people. A lot harder to do that now. I mean, you really struggle just to keep the books balanced,
Yes.
and then you've got this executive who has a lot of power.
Yes, right.
Doesn't always ask you guys what you think, right?
Well, we try to work together.
Yeah.
But we don't have the dollars there that we used to have,
Yeah. Yeah.
And now that the state is even involved in the county now,
Sure.
so,
Right.
yeah.
So I want to talk about when you think about your career here and the things that have changed in Highland Park and Wayne County and in Detroit over the time. And when you meet young people who are interested in that kind of service, what do you tell them about what they should be thinking about?
Well, I tell them to just be a good individual. Work, do your homework, study a lot, and just try to be the very best person. And if you do, things will just happen.
Yeah.
Because I had no intentions of ever getting into politics.
Yeah.
In fact, a friend came by who was working for the Secretary of State's office, and her boss was Ethel Terrell, who was a state representative, and she needed a precinct delegate in my area. And she came by one day and asked me if I would be a precinct delegate. I said, no way. She said, why? And I said, because politics is dirty. She said, then you get in there and help clean it up.
You help make it clean,
Yes.
right? Yeah.
And back in those days, you needed 30 signatures to be a precinct delegate. So she said she had a half an hour to get downtown to put that application in. So we had to go around in my district, get these 30 signatures, and get downtown. And when I told my colleagues at Michigan Bell that I was running for precinct delegate, well, they came out, and you'd have thought I was running for president of the United States.
They were all about it,
And
right?
one of the reasons why I said yes to her is because she finally said to me, if Shirley Chisholm can run for president of the United States, you can certainly be a precinct delegate.
Yeah. Wow.
And she was an idol of mine. She and Barbara Jordan.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes. And so I said yes to it. And then when all of my friends came out to campaign with me, I said, oh my goodness, this must really be something.
This is important, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And so as a Democrat, the district, it was the first Democratic district back then. And I was asked later, after I won the election, to serve as a delegate for the state.
For the state, yeah, right.
And I said, oh my goodness, there are people been waiting to get this position. And Buddy Battle was our chair back then, and Buddy said, I didn't ask you that. I just asked you, will you serve?
Will you serve? And that's the key question, right?
And that was an honor.
Yeah. All right. Martha Scott, great to have you here. Great to have you still with us serving here in Wayne County.
You know, I just love serving.
Yeah.
It's an honor.
Yeah.
And
All right.
a privilege.
Thanks very much.
Thank you for having me.
Coming up next on American Black Journal, the area's biggest used book sale raises money for education, plus 2 young boxers go after the American dream. But first, here's a look at some important moments in Detroit's Black history.
I'm Ken Coleman with a look back at African American life in Detroit. This week in 1955, Dr. Remus Robinson was elected to the Detroit Board of Education. He was the first black to serve in the post. In 1956, Gotham Hotel Appreciation Week kicked off at the Black-owned establishment located at John R. Street. And in 1979, jazz vocalist Eddie Jefferson was fatally shot after a set at Baker's Keyboard Lounge. These are significant events this week in Detroit's Black history, taken from the book On This Day, African American Life in Detroit.
It's almost time for Bookstock, the Detroit area's largest used book and media sale. The popular annual event raises money for local education and literacy programs. This year's Bookstock runs from May 15th through the 22nd at Laurel Park Place in Livonia. More than 10,000 donated books, DVDs, CDs, audiobooks, magazines, and records are going to be on sale at bargain prices. There's also an essay contest with cash prizes for fourth grade students in Detroit public schools. Over the past 14 years, Bookstock has raised more than $1.2 million. The event is put on by the Jewish Community Relations Council and a group of nonprofits. Joining me now is Bookstock's honorary co-chair, Rochelle Riley of the Detroit Free Press, along with Kristen Fries, a fourth grade teacher at Detroit's Chrysler Elementary School. Thanks for being here on American Black Journal. $1.2 million over 14 years. That's a lot of money going to.
We are now at 1.3 million, which is fantastic.
See, I had it wrong.
That's
even.
Okay. Well, it obviously went up
Right.
between the first time you heard it, last
money.
time you were out there. But
Yeah.
the big thing is, this has always been about education. I've been affiliated with it for 13 of the 14 years, and it's 100,000 books, CDs, DVDs, encyclopedia.
And that people just donate in order for you to sell.
Absolutely, which means it's free money, free help for kids. But the greatest thing that we've done in the past few years is our celebration of teachers, which is why I'm so excited.
Which is why Tracy is here to talk about the teacher role. Now, we should disclose up front, I went to Chrysler Elementary for the fourth grade, and it was not like, I'm sure you were not teaching there then.
No,
This was in
I wasn't.
1979 and 1980, so it was a little while ago, but I know that to be quite a good school, even still, probably better even than I was there. But talk about the role that Bookstock's playing there.
I recently came to Chrysler 3 years ago, and at that point in time, I received an email, stating that there was this essay contest by Bookstock. It was a local essay contest, which I'm all about trying to, do something local with the children and give back to them. And it stated, it was a fairly easy topic. It's either about their favorite character or their favorite book, and all students love to discuss what their favorite book is, and they'll tell you a story for hours.
Yes.
And so, I said, okay, we're going to go ahead and do this. We're going to see what happens. So I have asked the students if they want to participate. I ask for all of them to submit an essay.
You make it's a requirement.
It's a requirement for them to submit an essay. Then they have the opportunity to discuss with their parents and them if it's something that they would like to participate as far as taking it into the contest part.
Yeah.
And then I gather all those up and mail them in by the appropriate time.
Tell them how great you've done, since
So
you've done this.
this is my third year doing it. They have not finished doing the readings of all of the essays so far. However, they should be soon, so I won't know yet. But the previous 2 years, I have had a finalist in the top 5.
Oh, really?
Out of all of the fourth graders in DPS. So I'm hoping,
a big deal.
My fingers are crossed, maybe this year I will have the winner instead of one of the top 5. But they're all winners. They've all tried their best and worked really hard to get it done.
Yeah, I mean, writing an essay for fourth grade, I mean, that's a pretty high order skill, isn't it, for fourth grade kids?
It's something that should happen for all kids, which
supposed
is
to?
why I love that Chrysler and its teachers, and we get a lot of these. We've had hundreds of submissions from different schools, and the big thing for us is the celebration, because once we pick the winners, we celebrate the student who wrote the essay, we celebrate the teacher, and we celebrate the school, and we give cash awards. And that day, which is on Tuesday, it's our best day, is one of the special things that we do all week. We have something happening on the Sunday kickoff where Livonia Stevenson High School Marching Band will come out and help us kick the sale off. On Monday, we have Monday Madness, where the first 1,000 shoppers get free stuff, and one lucky shopper gets a $500 Visa gift card. Teacher Appreciation Day is Tuesday. Mark your calendar, May 17th, because seeing these kids come up and read their essays and get this award, and then get to be on TV on WDIV is awesome.
Yes, that's cool.
We have Bookbuster special days where people can come out, you spend $25, you get free stuff, and you can get into a drawing for an Olympic gold medalist ice skate from Merrill Davis and Charlie White, or 4 tickets to a Tigers game. I went the other night. We didn't win, but that's okay. We'll win the future ones. 4 seats for an on-field and behind-the-scenes experience with the U.S. Professional Baseball League in Utica. And then, for the finale at the end of the week, everything is half price. And the prices are little anyway. We're talking $1, $2, $5 for really great books. The very first year I was a co-chair, I found a nearly complete set of Nancy Drew mysteries, the original.
Really?
And got the whole thing. They're at home.
That's
Don't come to my house and try to get them.
And Rochelle, we should also say this is one of the many different things you do in that literacy space. That's one of your big issues here in the community.
It's been 15 years where I have tried to make sure that people understand how important it is for adults to read, so that parents can help teach students to read, so they can make teachers' jobs easier. And one of the things that Bookstock does, in addition to celebrating teachers and just making sure that we're building libraries everywhere, is the money goes to great things. I want to mention just a couple of things. I'm going to pull my glasses off.
That's okay.
We do a book club for parents and children in Inkster through Starfish Family Services. We have done individual projects. At Burns Elementary, we had a project to refurbish the library with Inside Out, Marcus Garvis Academy. They came out and did a field trip to Bookstock where they could all the kids could get books. So there's just dozens of things. One of my favorites is a bunch of wonderful volunteers go to a Detroit school and mentor and read to the students. And, as you know from when DPS did a reading corps, and they needed that so much to, just help teachers to make sure that the kids are staying on task and on level.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, this focus on literacy, of course, is a big part of elementary school, but I know at Chrysler it's particularly...
Yes, we pride ourselves on being a school of journalism and encouraging our children to write, and to give as many details as they possibly can. I always encourage my students, either through the reading time or writing time or whatever, that when you're writing, you're painting a picture for somebody else that can't see the picture. So the more details you include in your writing, and the better that they sound and appear, then your reader's going to be able to see exactly what you were seeing.
Right. I mean, those are things we talk about in newsrooms with
I was just going to say,
that's
training.
Right? Yeah, I mean, it's really getting them together. You said something before we started, Kristen, about how big your class is, 30 kids. I mean, that's something I want to make sure the viewers hear and understand that this is, that's part of the reality in Detroit schools. And it's also one of the things, though, that doesn't necessarily mean that there can't be achievement or excellence. I mean, you work with it and you figure it out.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. Bookstock, 14 years.
14. I know. Gosh, every time I say anything in double digits, I feel so old. But there's nothing more important than this, in working with the kids and teachers to make sure that they get that training, because literacy is what leads to excellence, which leads to job training, which leads to careers. So everybody's got to read.
And we're making some headway on the adult literacy issue, but not as much as we should. And to be honest, I sit on the board of an organization called Reading Works. The struggle to get philanthropy, to get business to support that, they all think it's government's job. And the truth is, the government is not.
I think when we get to the point where we understand that kids first, that means whatever it takes to make sure the kids get what they need, even if that means making sure that you're teaching adults to read. Once people make that connection, and you're right, more and more people are making that connection, because you don't want kids graduating from high school not able to read, which has happened in the past, because then you wonder, okay, what's going to happen to them? They're not going to be able to work. Some of them may choose criminal paths. You cannot separate that from the life that you want as a whole. And this is one of the things that helps with that mission.
Yeah. All
so
right.
mark your calendars.
Bookstock,
The
May
kickoff is
15th through 22nd.
Laurel Park Place at 6 Mile east of I-275 in Livonia. We take over the mall.
All right. Thank you both for being here, and good luck.
Thank you. Come out and get some books.
Come and get some books. See if those Nancy Drew books are still there. My daughter would love those.
Oh.
Yeah. All right. Today we continue our special look at the American Dream. It's part of a Detroit Public Television initiative to tell the stories of people who seize opportunities and deal with challenges in the quest for the American Dream. Today, we meet two brothers from Detroit who are chasing their dream in the boxing ring.
What is the American dream? I want to become the richest man on earth and make a lot of history and just be known. I want to have a house in Miami, Florida, and California. And then my training camp in Arizona. I would like to be in North Carolina in a mansion with the wife. I want to be 35-0. Calling Floyd Mayweather back out.
I gotta come sharper than that.
I want these Johnson brothers to stand. These are championship boxers. These guys are champions. We're so proud of you. And when you finally get paid, peel me off something, man. Don't forget Pastor.
My name is Vanell Johnson. I'm 16 years old, and I'm from Detroit, Michigan. My name is LeVan Johnson from Detroit, Michigan. I am 16 years old. LeVan is my little brother. Real good at boxing. Ringside World Championship, the Junior Olympics Championship, and he has multiple state championships. He's #1 in the world and in America. Basically, he started boxing, he won a national tournament before I did. And that just made me go harder. And then he realized that he had liked the football better than that. I'm a defensive tackle. I play defensive end sometimes.
If you go to a school, like, are you gonna try and walk on the football team regardless?
I mean, I'm not getting a scholarship for football.
But do you want to play anyways? Like, are you gonna still try and walk on?
You out there eating, baby? I see you. Right about now, I'm in the process of applying to some colleges before I take my ACT.
So looking at the scores and the GPA for this school, this would be like a reach school for you because what you have right now doesn't necessarily fit in their like average brackets.
I want to go to school to study architecture. Always wanted to build my parents their own house.
Have you ever taken any honors or AP classes?
I've been having honors classes since 9th grade.
Oh, is this the H?
Yeah.
Oh, great. Okay. Okay, so you have a lot of them. This is good.
I want to go to a big open campus university. Just want to get the feel of being around a lot more people, you know, a lot more races and all that. If I want to be known in the world, I can't just know African Americans. I gotta, know the races too. I used to like to fight, so one day my dad took me to the gym and said, see if you want to do this. They made me spar a girl, and then ever since then I was just determined to come back because I didn't like that the girl beat me up. If the gym didn't exist, I don't know where I'll probably be right now. I like basketball, so I'll probably be playing on a basketball team, but I'll probably just be in trouble a lot because the gym got me humble. It taught me how to keep to myself, stay focused. So I don't know where I'd be if the gym wasn't open. People with no supporters, it could be hard at times. I have my mom and dad and grandma that are supporting me. Some people don't have that.
I believe
too many kids don't have an after-school curriculum to get into. Bad neighborhoods, usually their basketball courts tore up. So you can't go play basketball. The only thing to do is just sit around. Probably do something bad.
I am praying for you.
When I turn 18, I'm gonna go pro. I'm not gonna wait till after, because I don't want to turn pro when I'm 20. I want to be wore out, washed up, or nothing. I want to go when
you will win.
As soon as I turn 18.
And not lose. Victory is yours.
I want to be remembered as better than Floyd, better than Muhammad Ali.
In Jesus' name.
I want to be remembered as the greatest fighter ever lived.
Amen.
What dreams do you chase? Share your dream at redreamproject.org.
That's our program for today. Thanks for watching. You can get more information about our guests at AmericanBlackJournal.org. And as always, you can connect with us on Facebook and on Twitter. Plus, you can now hear our program on WDET 101.9 FM. I'll see you next time on American Black Journal.
At DTE Energy, we believe that we have a greater responsibility. We believe that being part of a community means being involved in the fabric of that community, investing time, effort, and resources in the communities we serve. DTE Energy Foundation is a proud sponsor of American Black Journal.